Hey everybody, I'm Tara,
And I'm Sarah.
and we are
Sisterbia.
Sisterbia. Welcome back. Like, share, subscribe,
All the things.
all the stuff. All right. Um, so today I think we're gonna talk ghosts and our own personal experiences with them and what we think they are and just stuff like that. So I know, Sarah, there's one incident that she and I actually shared.
It was my very first experience with ghosts.
And we were young. I mean,
I was probably maybe 8. I can't imagine I was any. You had no, because you were probably like 14. So I was probably like 6, 5 or 6.
were we even that old? Because was it before mom and dad's divorce? Or
No.
it was after
No,
that?
Melanie was in the
Okay.
picture.
Okay. So, yeah, I was at least 12 then. And I'm 8 years older than you. So you were 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that area. And
We shared a bedroom at my dad's house when we were growing up.
so, I don't know. We had gotten up in the middle of the night and we're hungry or thirsty. I think we went and got iced tea.
Yeah. We weren't allowed, I mean, you when it was bedtime, you stayed in bed until it was
The sun came.
time to wake up.
Yeah.
You weren't up running around. That was not something we did. We were not allowed to do that. So,
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I thought I was going to just fix shit, but that ain't happening. Keep going, Sarah.
But so we had woke up and
That's
we were couldn't get back to sleep. So I didn't want to go downstairs and go to the bathroom by myself because I'm just a little kid and it's dark
And you'll get in trouble if
I'll
you're
get
up
in
out of
trouble.
bed.
So I was like, "Hey, Tara," and I woke her up and let's go downstairs. I have to go potty. Okay. So we go downstairs and do whatever, and we come out. I come out of the bathroom and we're thirsty now because I just got rid of all my fluid.
Matilda! Sorry, she's chewing my couch arm.
So Tara made us some iced tea because that's what we had at Dad's house. It was iced tea or milk. That was our choices.
So anyway,
Anyhow, that doesn't matter. I get distracted. So we take it into the living room and we're sitting there being so quiet so we don't get in trouble. And we're sitting on one couch and across the room from us, probably 10, 15 feet
Yeah.
across, my little Cabbage Patch doll is sitting on the couch.
because that's where she left her when we went to bed that night.
Apparently I wasn't allowed to take it upstairs for something. I don't know if I got grounded from it or what. But so we're sitting there and all of a sudden this Cabbage Patch doll flies across the room and lands between us.
Like literally out of nowhere, lands directly in between us. And at first, because it was dark, we couldn't go turning lights on or anything. We'd get in trouble. So at first we're like, whoa,
What is that?
What was that? And then, got to adjust on it and realize it was the doll that had been sitting 15 feet over there. Which reminds me of your phone.
Yeah,
that happened
when
here.
happened
Yep. So yeah, that was Sarah's first, and I think no, it wasn't mine. It was not my first experience. So mine was in that same house. No. No, it wasn't. It was in the yellow house. Okay, so we lived on the farm, and all the houses on the farm belonged to the farm. And different family members lived in each house because they all worked the farm. So down the road from where that happened, we used to live, we grew up in the yellow house, we'll call it. And once the family got bigger, I think when Mom was pregnant with Brad, our youngest brother, they moved to Grandma Lake's house after she had passed. So we got an upgrade. But before that, we lived at the Yellow House. And at the Yellow House, my bedroom was upstairs in this, it was just a small, I don't know, probably like 10 by 12 little bedroom. And there was an attic door that went into the attic. And it was like almost a full size door. I mean, for me it was, because I was little then. So it seems like it was probably like maybe 4 feet tall, just a little rickety old door that you'd open up and you could go in. There's first a closet area and then it goes into the attic. And I don't remember exactly when it started happening, but there was a lady who at night, after I went to sleep, I'd hear the door creak. And here come this little lady, all hunched over, toddling out of the attic. And she'd sit on the bed right beside me and just sit and look at me. Just look at me.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And when it first started happening, I'd be terrified. I mean, my eyes were, holy fuck, what's going on? I'd start crying and screaming. And of course, Mom and Dad, there's nothing in here. Look under the bed. And no, it's in the fucking closet. And so, they'd, I don't know, look and show me nothing was there. And you're just imagining it. And, the same shit every parent tells their kid that sees a ghost. So eventually I learned to just keep my eyes closed, because if I kept my eyes closed, I think she was trying to get me to go to sleep or something. So if I kept my eyes closed, she'd go away eventually. And it was freaking terrifying and nobody believed me. And so then this was the funniest thing. Well, it wasn't funny, but eventually we all grew up, moved out, and everybody, had their own lives. I was probably about a 35-year-old adult. And my brother, our oldest brother, Travis, and I'm spitting everywhere, he and his family lived in that house now. And we were over there for something. I don't know if you were with me or
whatever.
Yeah, something. And his daughter, Brooke, who was probably, 8 or 10 or somewhere around there at the time, Aunt Tara, I got new bedding and new curtains that match it. Now let's come up and see. And so I went upstairs with her, and of course she has the same bedroom that I had when I was growing up. And the very first thing I notice is her freaking bed is shoved against that door. and I wasn't going to say anything, but then I was like, I love your new curtains. I love your bedding. I know why your bed's in front of that door. And she got this look of relief, like
somebody
me. Knows. Yes, somebody knows what I'm experiencing and what is happening. So yeah, so that was so I knew, and it was relieving for me too,
because you knew you weren't crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't just imagining shit like my parents said, and I'm sure that's what her dad and Heather told her,
right?
Because
that's what you tell your kid.
Yeah, you gotta say, there's some crazy batshit ghost thing. I don't know what
you know what? I bet you're right. Let's go hang out in my room.
Yeah. God. So, yeah, exactly. Oh, God. So, yeah, that was kind of an interesting one. But I can't remember if other stuff happened in that particular house. Mom said that they could hear like a family upstairs.
I do remember her
talking, and like she had people over. I think it was for her baby shower before I was born. And the house was full of ladies, having their little party. And suddenly they started hearing the walking and the noises and the baby cooing and the family, And she said everybody freaked out and left her baby shower early because there were ghosts upstairs.
I probably would.
I mean, So, I mean, so that was another thing in that same house. And then at Dad's house, where the Cabbage Patch doll thing happened, I don't remember if any other weird stuff happened there. Do you?
I don't think so much, or we just didn't notice it because we.
You eventually get used to it
Right.
because,
I mean, I honestly expect ghosts whenever I move into a house now.
yeah,
I'm
because
like,
I mean,
okay,
pretty much
where's it
everywhere.
at?
Yeah. And, you
It's funny
know,
because we can drive down the road and be like, "Hey, where's the ghost at in this house?" And we'll both pick the same place and be like, "Oh, it's in that window."
yeah. Isn't that funny? Oh, God. So, okay, so I know as we got older, um, several times, most of our lives, we've lived together or very, very close to each other. But when Sarah was pregnant with her youngest, and I had my three boys were just little, we shared a house in Olivet right on the corner in town. And there was stuff there, like a bunch of stuff happened there.
A bunch.
I remember one day the boys had all gone to school. Sarah and I were sitting in my bedroom, which was downstairs, just watching TV, I think. And then,
Yeah, I was like 8.5 months pregnant. It was like it was uncomfortable at that point.
right. And we were just hanging out. Like the boys were at school. It was quiet. We were just chilling. And all of a sudden, thump, 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 across the ceiling upstairs. So,
We didn't have any indoor
pets at that time.
cats or anything and we had a dog,
But he was with us.
He was we laid down when we started hearing it. We went and we laid down on the bed so we could just be still. And we put
Yeah.
the dog on the bed with us
Yep.
so that we knew there was nothing that could be moving around.
Yeah, because I was thinking that that's where we were when we first started hearing it. But you're right. We heard it somewhere else, and we're like, let's just go in here where it's isolated and we can hear it. Yep, I remember that now. And yep, it was running
We-
up and down the hallway. up in
You
this-
could hear it. It would walk from one bedroom down the hallway to the other bedroom, and then it would stop at the bathroom. And then it'd walk from that room to that room, and then it would stop in the bathroom.
Yep. And so then, okay, so then after that happened, my boys who slept upstairs started seeing it. And we called him, he had a name. His name was Bernie because,
The kids named him. We didn't name him.
right, because he was burned. And they'd see him, he would walk to their bedrooms and stop at each of the doors and then go in the bathroom and get in the bathtub and just sit in the bathtub. And they said he was burned. Well, so many, like daily, my kids were terrified. And of course I believed them because
You'd
it
had
happened to me.
Right.
Yeah, it happened to me when I was young. So I eventually got a hold of the Southwest Michigan Paranormal Team, and they came and they did an investigation on our house and set up their little cameras and everything. And we were actually there. I don't remember if the boys were there. I don't think the boys were there when they came.
I think we sent him with Mom.
Probably. And then, but they, they did their thing, and nothing way out of the ordinary happened consciously while they were there, but they got to reviewing their evidence and sent me some recordings, some EVPs, and they said there's something there. Here's what we got, and one of them, they go, I think it's saying get busy. And so I listened to it and I put headphones on and I hear it, and it says it in the most horrific voice. It says, Get Izzy. Izzy was the nickname of my son Isaiah. And that was the end of that shit.
As soon as that happened, we
Started looking for a new house and bought a house and moved. Yep. And then after we moved out of that house, everybody that lived there after us said,
well, it would go up for sale and somebody would buy it, and then 6 months later it'd be up for sale again.
yep. And my boys went trick or treating there once after we had moved out, and they asked the lady, why, why is your house for sale again? You guys just bought it. And she hesitated, and they said, we used to live here. We know it's Bernie. Oh, and that was another thing too. When the investigative team came, they're like, so what does Bernie look like? What's he wearing? And I'm like, well, he's burned. I just assume that he's naked, but just like burned. And the boys are like, no, he wears green pants and like.
And they all said it separately on their own without, because we separated them.
Yep.
Because we didn't want them influencing each other.
Yeah. So there was that. And another thing that happened in that same house, this was before the investigative team and all that stuff. It was when stuff started kind of rolling in and firing up. But there was one morning, the boys came down for breakfast. They were tired as hell. They hadn't slept all night. And I've got them sitting at the table and giving them, I don't know, cereal or something. And they're talking about their dream they had last night. Isaiah and Eli, the two older boys, are going off on this little dream they had last night. And I was kind of not actively participating in the conversation, but like standing back listening to what was going on. And one of them's going, yeah, and then remember when, and it was Darth Maul and my stick shift car. Mind you, these boys are, one's in kindergarten, one's in first grade. And they're driving my stick shift car around with Darth Maul on the hood going, like gonna eat them. And they slammed on the brakes and threw him over the bridge into the river right there down the road from the house. And one of them would tell this part of the story, and then the other one's like, yeah, and then this happened. Oh, I know. And then remember when that, and I'm like, okay, how did you guys have the same dream? And so now I started to kind of actively participate because I'm like, wait a minute, this is just too flippin' weird.
There's no.
And they told the story of, beginning to end, how this dream that they had last night went. And so that raised my antennas a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
How are they lucid dreaming together at 5 and 6 or?
And no wonder they
and
didn't
5?
fucking sleep. They were out gallivanting, driving my stick shift down the street, throwing Darth Maul in the river. For Christ's sake. Like,
I'd be tired too.
I know it. I didn't sleep at all. So there was that one.
I had one that wasn't nearly as exciting, and I don't know if it's poltergeisty or ghosty or what exactly it was, but I was 16, and we lived in the house on Morningside.
Okay. Yeah, not much happened to me there.
I was going to go somewhere. I needed my license. I spent literally 6 hours searching the house.
Oh, so you had lost it. You misplaced it or something.
It was poof, gone. Okay, whatever. So I'm going through the house. I'm looking everywhere. Can't find it.
Still drink iced tea.
Finally, I gave up. I was like, you know what? I guess I'm just not going. Whatever. And I went and I sat down on my bed. I had a water bed. It was the day bed, so it was one side had like a bookshelf or whatever. And I sit down on my bed. And I'm glaring at my door because I'm just mad.
Yeah, pouting. Yep.
And I don't know, my mom walked in or somebody opened the door, and there sits my driver's license sitting on the floor right in front of my door. It was not there before.
Huh.
Like, I'm. I mean,
See, even stuff like that
just
happens
little
here.
random. I mean,
Stuff not where you put it, or
yeah. I remember Mom used to say she like when she'd get ready for work, she'd put her earrings on the side of the sink in the bathroom and walk away, and they'd be gone, and she'd walk out and say, "Okay, put them back," and then wait 5 minutes and walk back in, and they'd be there.
and they'd be there. Um, Similar things like that have happened to me, and I think you were involved in one of them. I dropped I dropped a ring or something, a piece of jewelry. It was either a necklace or a ring, but I dropped it on the bathroom floor, and then it was it was gone, and I never found that thing again. There's nowhere it could have gone.
I have one of those.
Yeah,
too.
there's just nowhere it could have gone.
It was-
It had to be there, and it wasn't.
It was on Morningside.
I think that's where mine happened, like that too.
I had gotten a cross from my dad and stepmom for Christmas, and I just didn't take it off because I know who I am. I lose things. I drop things. That's just me. Okay, whatever. But it was starting to get a little tarnishy, and I didn't want to get in the shower with it on. So I think Tara took it off me or whatever. Took it off, set it on the table. That cross was gone and never to be found again.
And you actually have had a hard time with crosses.
I can't keep crosses. I think I've gotten some praying hands. I still have that cross you gave me for my birthday last year.
Oh, good.
But
That one hasn't disappeared yet.
not yet. It's hanging up next to my mom necklace. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, because I gave up buying crosses. Now I have one tattooed on me. So
There you go.
figured
That
that's
fixes
the only
it.
way it's gonna stay.
So another, I have a friend, Becky. Okay, so first you need to know, I was an idiot as a teenager and a young adult because I was already into weird ghosty shit because it had been happening to me my whole life, and just got into like the paranormal stuff, and instead of doing things the smart way, I got a Ouija board and didn't know anything about them, how to use them, what not to play it by yourself. I didn't know any of that shit, and did it. I mean, I messed with stuff so bad at that age. Tarot cards, Ouija boards, seance type crap, just summoning stuff in, not having any idea what I was doing. And kind of when this story takes place, it was after that's doing all that kind of stuff. So I was in a band. I was a singer. I had a friend, Becky, who was my drummer, and we shared a house, and we had band set up in the basement. Like, our whole gig was set up down there, and we'd have neighborhood parties or everybody just come down and watch us jam out or whatever. But we were down there cleaning up one day after a party the night before, and we had of course we had the big band speakers, and I mean it was pretty decked out. We were jamming some music through the speakers, through the synthesizer board and everything, and cleaning. I mean, we were rocking out, vacuuming, picking up beer cans, and I was sweeping, and I was over by the wall where stuff is plugged in at and everything, and I get this confused look on my face, and I look at Becky, and I'm like, I pick up the plug and hold it. It's the cord to everything that's blaring music right now.
And vacuuming.
And vacuuming. And I look at her like, eh. And the minute I did that, everything off. Done. It was done. And that was the freakiest thing. I wonder if Becky remembers that. And actually, because she was into all this weird, creepy shit too at the time. This was before we both reformed. But there was another time we with Matt and Eric, our bassist and guitarist, we decided we were going to go check out the cemetery because there's a cool grave out there that said, okay, hold on.
As you were.
Beware, my friends, as you pass by. As you are now, so once was I. As I am now, so you shall be. Prepare for death and follow me. And we thought that was the coolest fucking headstone ever. And we were going to go check out this grave. And so we go out there, and of course we got our camera with us and everything. And we pull in, we're not exactly sure where this grave is, this particular grave. But we know it's in this graveyard. So we pull in and park, and it's dark. So we're wandering around with flashlights and our camera looking for this gravestone. And finally we find it. So Eric, Sasquatch we called him, decides, hey, I'm going to lay down on this grave and I'm going to, like this, and take a picture.
Because it'll be really cool.
It'll be the coolest thing. And so, okay, we do it. So he does it, and I think Becky took the picture.
Because and it was a camera, flash
camera.
Because
and I'm telling you, when it effing flashed, everything glowed. Like you could read every little letter and word on that headstone instant, like it glowed. And Eric changed. Like his face was pale and dead and not him. And so like we all saw it when that happened. Matt saw it, Becky saw it, and I saw it. And we all screamed. And we took off tearing back to the car. Nobody's going to believe this when I tell this part. Nobody's going to believe it. And I don't blame you. I have a hard time believing it when I say it back. Every step we took, we sank deeper into mud and dirt. And we're trying so hard and we're running and you can't get there. And it's like, by the time we get to the car, we're like, picking our feet up out of the mud and we can't, and we get in the car and we're finally all in the car. And it's like, oh my God, we're safe. We're safe now. So Becky's like, okay, well, we're leaving. I'm just going to drive out of here. So she pulls up to the end of the driveway and we're getting out, ready to turn out on the road. And there's this person, all in gray, walking toward the car, walking down the road, coming toward the car. And frickin' Eric, because he's always got to be the instigator of every stupid thing, decides, rolls his window down. Hey, what's up? And that thing stopped dead in its tracks, went just like this. And then kept walking toward the car. And I'm like, go, Becky! Go, Becky! Becky, fucking go! Becky, go, Becky! And she's like, brrr! We go squealing out of there, and there's this thing. So I mean, it was so close. And Eric's saying, okay. Becky's got to watch this episode because I have to see if she remembers it like I do. Oh my God, it was terrifying. It was so scary. But it was shortly after that I started getting my shit together, because I can remember being able to walk through. I stayed in the basement at the house we were staying at. Hi, Matilda, get down. And the lights were at the top of the stairs. So if I wanted to go to sleep at night with lights off, I had to turn them off at the top of the stairs, walk down the stairs in the dark, weasel my way back to the corner where my bedroom was. So it was pitch black. I mean, it was a basement. There was no windows or anything. It was dark. And it's so scary when I talk about this. But I remember relying on some spirit that would just guide me. I never bumped into anything. I could go, oh yeah, I left my lighter right here. Boom, could grab it. It was right there. Like I knew where things were around that room, and there's no way
I mean, if you're blind, I mean,
Right.
as a blind
Well-
person, they probably could have done that, but they lived with it their whole life
Right.
to where they know.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't live there that long, and you weren't
No.
just constantly in the dark doing it, so it's not like you had it memorized.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I thank God I made some changes in my life, and because now I'm a Christian. Now I have disowned all of that stuff. I would never touch a Ouija board at this point. And we used to do it for fun. I remember when I first met.
I remember being a kid
Yeah.
playing with it on the pool table.
No way.
Yeah, I was a kid. It was a game. I didn't know.
Well, I knew it was supposed to do creepy shit, But I remember like going over when I first met Wendy. Shelly and I went over to Wendy's house when we first started being friends, and we decided we were gonna play with a Ouija board. We turned off all the lights and lit some candles and stuff, and we were dinking around with a Ouija board, and we didn't know Wendy's house. This is the first time we'd ever been there, and lights were off and everything, and we're like, who are we talking to? Tell us who it is. And I don't remember what it said, but it said some name, and it might have said Satan. And but whatever name it said, we were like, oh yeah, if you're really here, prove it to us. Do something that we know you're here. Both the candles out. Like somebody just blew them both out instantly. Wah! Screaming, running. I don't know where the hell I'm going because I've never been in this house before. I mean, just dumb stuff like that. So, all that to say, what are ghosts? Okay, is it ghosts that you summon with a Ouija board? Is it demons?
Is it? Yeah.
Because I think they're all demons. Because I don't know. I think it's all.
It's all spirit. It's either it's demons or angels. I feel. I mean, it kind of has to be because that's what.
Right.
Because there's
our human souls don't stay here. I don't think.
God made the seen and the unseen. It says in the Bible.
Yeah.
So maybe.
She's just gonna push you across the room. Bye.
I'm just gonna,
Sarah, get out of the picture.
Matilda wants my spot. I'm sorry.
But so
I mean, I don't know.
I know. It's the weirdest thing to think about. It's obviously something spiritual realm. I don't think we have the powers to do. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe our minds are way more powerful than we know.
Well, I'm certain they're more powerful than we know, but I don't know that they're that.
Yeah,
right.
My mind as a little kid didn't summon an old lady
to
out
sit
of
on my bed.
Yeah,
right.
It was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it would have been something much more comforting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my dad.
And we went to church and everything.
Yeah,
then.
we grew up in church. I remember right after I had gotten divorced and I moved into the apartment.
Tilly,
now
you're gonna get your ass beat.
I'm
not hitting her hard. Not as hard as I want to. You said you were. I was hitting her hard.
I was living in a little apartment, and I had just bought a new car because I don't know, my ex-husband had taken the car or whatever.
Hi, Matilda. Oh my God, this dog.
But I fell asleep on my couch after I just gotten done taking the kids to their dads. I get home, I'm like, oh, thank God. I lay down, I fall asleep, and I hear my dad's voice, clear as day, go, Sarah. He was still alive.
But he wasn't there.
But he wasn't there. I was like, what?
See,
What
I've
the
had something
heck?
similar to that.
When I walk out, I get up and I'm like, what is going on? Maybe he's outside and he just hollered at me. Like, he,
to wake you up to get the door or
right,
something.
like maybe he's here and that's why he's
Yeah.
screaming. So I go and I open the door and he's not there, but my car lights are on. So I went and I shut
Huh.
off my lights.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, mine
Yeah.
like that was terrifying. It wasn't Dad's voice though. It was something else. And I was almost asleep and I hear Tara. Yeah, I didn't sleep.
No, yeah.
It
See,
was-
mine was actually comforting because it was Dad.
And he told you your lights were on. That was awesome. Thanks, Dad.
However, he did do something kind of crappy to me when I was. I had taken my kids to I just dropped everybody off. I'd gotten them to church camp. I'd set it up so that they were all gone on the same week. I had a week to myself.
Ooh.
I was so excited. I'm sitting in my living room watching a show, scary movie because
That's what you do when you're
When
home alone.
home alone, out in the middle of nowhere, 100% by yourself.
Perfect idea.
Terrifying movie. Yep. So, I get a phone call. Well, we had no service out there. So, I get a voicemail. And I call it. And I hear, and it's Dad. And he says, "Hey, Sarah, there's a in your front yard. Go grab your gun." What? Are you kidding me? What is going on? And I'm trying to call my dad because
And you
what
got-
the hell's in my front yard that I need a gun for? Like, you're here. Like, clearly you just saw it, so you get the gun. What is going on? So I'm freaking out. And I can't get a hold of him because they've driven past to go to have dinner at Ducks Point.
Oh,
Or not Ducks Point,
but yeah, the shooters
The
or whatever.
tavern.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
Did you ever find out what it
after
was?
like a couple hours, I'd been calling him. I'd text, somebody get a hold of me because
Yeah.
I'm here by myself. You want me to like get my gun? What? I'm just a girl. But yeah, I finally got a hold of him. He's like, "Oh, it was a deer
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna shoot a deer in my front yard.
across, yeah, towards the
Neighbor's
neighbors."
house.
And, yeah, sure, I'll get right on that. Christ's sakes, Dad, you gave me a heart attack.
Oh man.
Yeah, because then it seriously just like totally static. Only when he said deer. It was, "Hey Sarah, there's a." There's a what?
Oh my god, that'd be terrifying.
And then I had a neighbor come over and knock on my door. "Hey, there's a rabid raccoon out underneath that tree. It's been sitting there all day. Something's clearly not right with him. Do you mind if I get a gun and shoot him?" "Please do that. I have like
Kids
5
and
little
pets.
kids and dogs and whatever." And yeah, please do that.
Well, we should probably wrap this because we are at almost 40 minutes and the
Awesome.
snow is piling up outside and I don't want you to have to drive home and
Sounds good. I
Oh.
gotta pee so bad.
there go the sirens.
All right, guys. We love ya.
Love you. Oh, let us know in the comments what you think. What are ghosts? What are demons? Ghosts? Okay. All right. She's gone. Love you guys. Have a great night and we'll see ya. Bye.